Welcome. So, sound like someone who's about to lie. You might think that, but no. Welcome to the MainSplaining channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes, sir. And
So
then,
where have you been?
and then that we have arrived.
Yeah, where have you been?
Man, I don't know. I've been around. I've been doing things. I'd like to think,
I was around. That's why I'm asking you, where have you been?
I was all over everywhere.
But here, no?
No, I just couldn't find you where I was. It made no sense. It makes no sense.
Got two phones right here. I don't know why I'm saying that. Okay, I'm saying it because in case you probably can see. So I got two phones. They just okay. Wait, yeah, got two phones. You know, on our last conversation,
Yeah.
we were talking about that KZN and its high. What word do they normally use?
Is it high infection rate?
Yeah, high infection rate. Yeah,
Is it
HIV.
HIV infection
Yeah,
rate.
infection rate. Especially amongst the young ones from 15 to, what was it, 15 to?
I don't remember. 21, was it?
What's it, 29, 20, 25? I think 15 to 25.
Yeah.
1 point what? Oh, gosh. What the hell? This is embarrassing. But yeah, along those numbers, over 1,000. Was it every day? Was it every week? Oh,
I forgot.
gosh.
You know what?
It's best I don't lie.
Don't do that.
Let me not lie.
Don't do that.
But besides, it is a pandemic.
It's a
Regardless.
very big pandemic.
So even the HIV thing, to me, like the question still arises, like, if we're the ones that suffer the most, why don't we then, do our own research and
Yeah.
let us find our own cure or treatment, whatever it may be? I mean, it doesn't make sense that we don't invest in that because clearly you can't build any nation if there's sick people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a serious thing.
I mean, amongst other things.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, especially the way the world is going, what happens when, boom, suddenly they don't produce these drugs anymore? Or
What
we
if the
can't get
world
them?
decides that we are not going to get their drugs?
Yeah. So what do we do? Just like that.
Like, let's say in an instance like Zimbabwe where they get sanctioned or we get sanctioned, right?
Yeah.
Do we still get drugs? Do they still allow us to get drugs, or what happens then?
Yeah, how does that one work?
Right? I mean, all I know is that they still take our minerals. They still.
Oh, they don't mind when that part works properly.
Yeah.
No disruptions, nothing. Because those guys are still also there in Zimbabwe, by the way.
Wait, so SA really has oil?
Did they find oil?
SA has oil.
Serious?
Amongst our minerals, SA has oil. Yeah. I was like, this is crazy, dog. Like, how on earth? Like, okay, it's a recent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a recent thing. And I think even Gayton had spoken about it. Was it Gayton? I don't remember, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It was him, no?
Yeah, amongst some of the minerals that we have, right?
It's a lot,
But
actually.
yeah, but we are poor.
Yeah, definitely. The majority are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority are poor. It's a system where, what is this? People don't want to change it, especially when you're close to that door,
Yeah.
and then you see the quickness of it, so to speak,
Yeah.
like, oh, so I can get rich this quick.
Yeah.
So if I go with this method, some hiccups along the way, and I don't want that. So I want to get rich quick. Basically, I see some of it in that sense, Like when people say, without calling names, but I think most, especially people that like to use the term, revolution, it's like
Yeah.
You know, they're always well off. That's the weird thing. It's like they're always well off. But
Almost
then
all.
they always say, I'm not doing it for the money and the, you
And
know.
that's like almost all the time, is it not?
Like, I don't get why. Why do they always have to separate that? You understand what I'm saying? It's like you got responsibilities, right?
It's like even a Julius, right?
Yeah, I've heard him say that, especially. But he's well off. Why can't he just say, you know what? Part of it is that, because you're benefiting. It contradicts everything for you to say, no, I'm not in it for the money, but you're well off. It just doesn't make any sense. It's impossible for you to be well off. You can't be well off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't be well off. But it's well off. So why can't you just be honest, you know? And we South Africans, you know, we read between the lines. And I think, yeah, they tend to forget that, like, man, you can't say you're not doing it for the money. Because people are like, and they always put these arguments, like, if I was in it for the money, you know, as soon as it got hard, I was going to leave. Man, I mean, there could be a different motivation. You are well off. If you don't, you won't be well off. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's just interesting to me, like, they don't wait for other people to ask the question, you know. They're the ones asking the question and answering. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, sort of a propaganda kind of thing. Like, well, if I was in it for this, I would go, wait, why don't we ask the question? Then try and answer it, you know, like, in that what is this word? In that specific, you know, conversation, perhaps, not really, but yeah, or aspect, whatever it may be. But yeah, it just makes me think. Yeah, man, it makes me think.
It's not our mother's tongue.
Yeah, it's not our mother's tongue.
Or mother tongue. Which one is it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Who makes the language anyway? The father or the mother? I don't know.
Is it not the father?
Yeah. You know, I've heard someone say that, like in an African term, being, what is this? Being in a household, it's so African to be specific, household. The woman is the head. And then
in
the
an
man,
African household.
Yeah, that's what they said. I heard it somewhere. I heard Penuel especially say it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he said that.
And I want to know which African household.
But that's what he said. He said, you know.
No, I want to know which African household.
I don't know, man. Let me just finish. Okay. Sure. I also don't know, but that's what he said. And then the man, what the man does is, what is it? Did he say he sustains?
Yeah.
Yeah, something. But otherwise, the one who handles basically who runs the house is the woman. So the head. It's insane how, you know, people think, you know, how you gonna deny reality and create your own.
Deny truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite clear who runs the house, but still, you know, you have that thing. It also goes back to when you don't know your role, you start empowering in areas where you're not supposed to be empowering. You understand? Because biblically, it's quite clear how the roles work. But as soon as you step out, you'll just go with anything. You know, whatever comes, you'll just go with it. Whatever comes, you just go with it. Like now, he might say that a couple of months or so, he's back, you know, flipped again. No, actually, it's like this and like this. No, actually, it's like this and like this. You understand? Because there's no foundation. And your foundation, obviously, should be biblical. And the thing I get also, when you're being biblical, is that the structure is very clear, right? It's the kids down there, and then it comes. It's the wife, and then on top it's the husband. But then on top of the husband is Christ.
Yeah.
Right. On top of the husband, it's Christ, and people always forget that. Like, listen, man, you can be the head, but you're not necessarily the head. You are the head, but you're not necessarily the head. Meaning you don't make up your own rules as you go and get away with it, right? The same attitude also that people have sort of like in politics. I'm a leader. So I want the benefits, but the responsibilities, I don't want that. But I want that title. Understand what I'm saying? Men are
and
like
the
that.
Benefits
and the benefits. And men are like that. They think, okay, it's about the title and the benefits, not understanding the responsibilities. And Christ lays them out very clearly, what the responsibilities of a man are. And especially a man who can't take off of their children. So we get to that point where even people that have like, they just can't humble themselves enough to say, you know what, fine, I messed up, I had kids and, with different women. No,
Let
none
me
of
try
that.
and fix that.
Let me try and fix that. They don't even try. They try and justify that behavior. They try and justify that behavior. No, maybe, not even maybe, but it's in that light where I'm creating a legacy. That's what they usually say. I'm creating a legacy, and I'm like, I always think to myself, isn't legacy ideas, morals, and values? So what are you setting? What are these values? What are you talking about? Which legacy are you talking about? Just having kids. Dude, if you notice, you get to every time you read in the Bible where conflicts occur, it's because of men that had kids with different women. These kings always caused those problems because they always had kids with different women. For him, it's fine, right? All of them are his kids.
But for the woman,
how crazy is it that a man refuses to raise? Understand? A man will refuse to raise. Another woman's child, right? It's not fair. You can see no. But with the same thinking, he brings it into that I can have as many wives and I expect these wives to be fair to all of these children. That's insane. That thinking is insane. He can't do it. He can see there's a problem because you can't create a bond with a child that's not yours. But somehow, because, listen, woman, these are my children, love them. Naturally, that is impossible.
Because it's not how we were created.
It's not how we were created. You as just that man, it's easy for you to say it because why? They are all your children. These are all your children. These are all your children. I mean, besides, I know you have a favorite somewhere there, but they are all your children. So what you are asking is totally impossible. So biblically, you can see what was happening. What ended up happening to those families?
Yeah.
I mean, some go to the point of even killing one another. And I hear that this thing has been happening for, the excuse is always, this thing has been happening for, some go as far as saying the beginning of time, since any literature we read or whatsoever, or text, it's quite clear that this has been happening. You know what else has been happening during that time? Slavery. In that same period also. It's been there. Slavery has been there. But we know that slavery is not right. We know that. But we don't want to, this one, since it's been happening, let's stick to it. It's been happening. But slavery, it's been there also.
So the point that I want to make is just because it's been happening,
that's where I'm going.
Right.
Just because it's been happening doesn't mean that it's right. People have been running away from their kids. Is that right? Should we continue that? People have been killing each other. Should we continue that? People have been raping since the beginning. Should we continue that?
No.
And they're missing that point, I wouldn't say they miss it. I mean, most people that want that is men. I mean, it's beneficial to them.
Yeah. And I mean, men have lost their way so much in that women now are claiming positions or roles that men should be. Some women are actually filling those roles because there's no one there to fill that role, I think another thing is it's important that we accept where we've made mistakes. You know, is it in problem solving? The first step to resolving a problem is accepting that you have a problem.
You have to identify it. Because if you can't accept it, then what's the point? How will you fix it? Because clearly it's not there.
Right. So that's the thing. I think that's really just, we are, I'd say, a proud people now. Like, people today are very proud. You know, we had an argument the other day, you and I. We're not going to say about what, but, you know, there came a point where I was supposed to admit that a certain thing, you know, not that I was wrong in it, but I was supposed to admit, to say, okay, you know, I actually do such and such and such, you know. And lo and behold, you know, my pride kicked in. I was like, oh, hell, no, we're not going to do this, you know.
I still remember because the way you were sitting, this is how you said.
Yeah.
And it made the conversation, it delayed actually the what is this? The resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just delayed it.
I think for some reason though, you really wanted me to be the bigger man. And I was like, why does this guy want me to be the bigger man? Like, we're not gonna do that, not here. Why aren't you the bigger man? You know? Be big about it, dog. Like, yeah. I was like, no, hell no. We're not gonna do that. But yeah, you know, eventually, you know, I was like, man, what am I gonna gain? What do I stand to profit anyway, you know? And yeah.
It would have been resolved. And if you think about it, you know what? I would have done what you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also came in out because once someone gets ignorant, the other also starts also being ignorant. It was just
Yeah. And it doesn't profit.
Yeah, it doesn't profit.
Whole, anything, in fact, it doesn't profit.
But if you think about that, you know, take it in a larger scale, you know, no matter how we think that, you know, we have surpassed certain behaviors or certain certain ways of thinking, they still are there. You know, they come inside, they will creep in some form or some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pride is definitely one of them, I guess, you know. I have a problem. You have a problem when you sing pride, because when you see it in someone else, you can see just how bad it is. Yeah, you can see that, you know, the destruction,
how detrimental it is.
Yeah, but it's destructive in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just see it. So when you're doing it, yeah, you do realize it. It's later, yeah, you know, thinking about it. Sometimes even sooner, but you're like, you know, that was totally unnecessary. That's funny.
I don't know, man. It's the whole pride conversation, you know.
Man, it's big. It was really bad.
I think it's also to the point where you know, I'd say it has cost civilizations.
Yeah, pride.
Yeah, like an entire people. I'd say look at what is happening, like in the US now. You know, like, you need to at some point admit that, you know what, whatever the war or the battle is, we are losing it. You know, let's get together. Let's put our thoughts together. You know, but
pride won't allow them.
Pride won't allow them.
Pride won't allow them. You know, if you're looking at South Africa and America, I think people, especially South Africans, you know, they, I'll use the word ignorant, you know, when it comes to just the scale and the size of the United States. Yeah, I think they are so ignorant when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know, that they forget that this is actually, you know, it's a powerhouse, man. That's a huge economy. I don't know how many times South Africa goes in there. Oof, I really don't know. I mean, that country's GDP, I think it's over $20
trillion.
20 trillion US dollars.
Have
We haven't even hit trillion yet. Our GDP. It's not even a trillion yet.
I mean, that's why the US, they won't mess with China.
Yeah. Because China is playing at that level.
Yeah.
China is playing at that. Russia is not even close. Remember, Russia is only threatening because of its missiles.
Yeah.
And its nuclear
Yeah.
missiles. That's it. But otherwise, economically, come on, man.
Speaking on also the war on Ukraine, at first, you would have thought that, the US has good intentions with the Ukraine, but I think knowing the US, it's pretty evident that they have an agenda.
Yeah.
And so they denied when Ukraine asked to join NATO,
Yeah.
The US denied. They said, no, you can't do that. We can't allow you.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah. In South Africa, I feel like it's playing at that game.
No, we'll give you weapons, we'll give you, but we're not going to allow you to be a part of us.
That's what I'm saying. South Africa, I feel like, is playing at that level at some point where I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'll have to agree with Gated. It's all about interests, It's just all about interests at the end of the day. We're not beefing with America, neither are we beefing with Russia, neither are we beefing with China. They all have things that we need.
Yeah.
It's interests. What can I give you and what can you give me? Interest, So we exchange, and then in that exchange, both of us benefit. Now, this thing every time, and I'm saying South Africa, it's I hear it, continuously, that they tend to forget the power that America has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, when last, if you get into almost any South African department, almost any, you'll notice that the things they used to have, they don't have.
Anymore.
They have less cars, they didn't have. I think even choppers, they used to have them, I don't know what the heck happened.
Have what?
Choppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. They used to have them. But they keep downgrading and downgrading and downgrading. But today they have this big mouth as though they can take on America. Let me remind you, America would be like the Union Building. South Africa would be like a shack. Yes, sir. Taking that far.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere with this. Not in terms of poverty or no.
In terms of size.
In terms of size, economically, you understand? If it were in size, obviously it would be maybe something like, I'm not sure, a little flat or a house. But regardless, for argument's sake, a house and Union Building. So this small house will burn quicker than Union Building.
Most definitely.
And that's what South Africa is missing. Is that, yes, America might be falling, but America is not, because of its power.
And its size.
It will fall way, way slower than South Africa.
And
it's
when America falls, South Africa falls with it.
And so I just want to get that point across where if I start burning this house and I start burning Union Building, the first one that's going down is the house. I'm talking now. Man, Union Building, you'll see it. I actually started, the fire now is expanded to this side. The fire also started expanding there's no, it started that room. Once, boom, house gone. Yeah.
In comparison to Union Building.
And something we've said about South Africa is that, they like to challenge without solutions. Gosh, they just love to challenge, They just love to challenge. We want this, we want that, we want that, blah, 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 blah. What is your solution? Dololo. Anyway, I could go on the whole day, but
wow, what you tried to say?
Producer guy.
You know, I need to get.
Keeps showing me fingers. The weird thing about these fingers that he keeps showing me is they keep getting less. First it was 5, it went to, I'm showing me 3 fingers. I'm assuming those are minutes. I don't know. We'll
You know what?
clarify
we need to get
after we cut.
We need to get this producer guy.
Yeah,
Get him? We need to find him.
we have to. And before I close, don't forget to like, comment, share,
And subscribe. Yes, sir.